Hey St. Christopher's, I hope you're doing well. It's Matt here from Life Church, and I just want to share a few thoughts. The thought I kind of have with a question this morning is, how do you keep going when life feels hard? Where can you find the strength to face each day, especially when you know it's going to be filled with pain or challenges, and maybe even sometimes a sense of hopelessness? The Bible introduces us to a man who struggled deeply with these things, with these questions, a prophet named Jeremiah. He's often called the weeping prophet. This name didn't come from a single moment of sadness, but from a life filled with hardship and loneliness and sorrow that spanned more than 40 years. He was called by God to deliver a message that was difficult for others to hear, even more difficult for him to keep sharing. You see, Jeremiah's job was to remind the people of Israel that they had strayed far from God, and because of their choices, trouble was coming. He warned them of an invasion by the Babylonians, a powerful, ruthless empire. But the people didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to face the truth. Instead of listening, they turned against Jeremiah. He became an outcast, mocked, ignored, threatened. People were so angry that he was even thrown into a pit to die at one point. But it's all good, because in those dark, lonely moments, God was close to Jeremiah, and God gave him a promise, saying, I will make you a wall. The people will fight against you, but will not overcome you, for I am with you. Imagine the courage it took for Jeremiah to keep going, to continue speaking out when everything and everyone around him was against him, day after day. He endured rejection, hatred, and isolation, but he kept going, not because it was easy, but because he held on to a relationship with God that was deeply personal and full of trust. When he was utterly abandoned by people, he knew that God was still with him, his faithful friend. In one of the most beautiful moments, Jeremiah reflects, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. Even his deepest sorrow, Jeremiah could still recognize God's love and mercy. He could see that even though life was unbelievably painful, God's compassion was steady and unbreakable. So, what can we learn from Jeremiah's life? When you're struggling, when you're hurting, when it feels like you can't go on, Jeremiah's story shows us that there is a way through. He teaches us that it's okay to feel pain, sadness, and even anger, but to remember that God loves us and never leaves us. And his love never leaves us as well. If you find yourself in a season of heartache, remember Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. He reminds us that no matter how hard life gets, we can cling to a God who is full of compassion and who will never, ever let us go. Let Jeremiah's life be a reminder that you don't have to face challenges alone. God is with you, holding you up, helping you through, and in God you can find the strength to keep going. I hope you have an amazing day. Hope to see you soon.